Welcome to the Galvanize with Gavin podcast. This is your host, baseball player and entrepreneur, Gavin Johns. This podcast will empower you to reach your fullest potential in life. Inspirational stories, keys to success, and practical methods to overcome life's challenges will be revealed. I encourage you to be the light in the lightning and spark a positive change in the world today. How's everyone doing? This is the Galvanize with Gavin podcast. We have a very special guest on today, licensed massage therapist. She has a bachelor's degree in exercise science. She's worked with a lot of amazing people, some of the top athletes in the world. She's just helping make a positive impact in the world and a great change as far as health and wellness. I've learned a lot from her. Being a baseball player at Tennessee Tech University. She's from Cookeville, Tennessee. And so without further ado, Jordan Johns, thanks for coming on, Jordan.
Hi, thanks for having me. This is exciting.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. Super excited to get into it. I wanted to give everyone just a brief background of how we met. I know I already said a little bit in the introduction, but everyone knows, I played baseball at Tennessee Tech University and just really appreciated my time there, just learned a lot. But it was so much more than just baseball in the university. It was the whole city of Cookeville that really made my experience what it was. And Jordan was one of the key people that helped me along my journey. And it was just so awesome just learning different health tips from her. And actually getting some massages from her too to help with the recovery, to be able to perform at the highest performance that I could. So super thankful for her, and excited to get into this. Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. So for the first question, I just wanted to ask you how you started, getting into health and wellness, and what started that journey for you into being a massage therapist?
So it started at Tech. I went to school for exercise science. I have a concentration in fitness and wellness. I grew up we're a sports family. Always enjoyed football, baseball, all that kind of stuff. And so I didn't really know what I wanted to do in college, but I knew I wanted to do something that could possibly keep me in that line of just athletic things. So did that, graduated in 2012, and then kind of just worked random odds and end jobs for like 3 years with no idea what I was doing with my life. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. And at that time, I was pretty into CrossFit, like just recreationally, working out Monday through Friday, with the classes, all that. And we had a guy at the gym who was a chiropractor, and his wife was a massage therapist. So, and at the time we were all friends. And so I kind of talked with them a little bit once it was time for me to like really figure out what I was going to do with my life, and really liked what they were doing and how they were handling their business. And that's when I decided, I'm just going to go to massage therapy school. It was very quick. I looked up a bunch of schools. 2 were close by, visited both of them. And then within like a month and a half of like deciding that I think I wanted to do that, I was signed up and ready to go. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was I'm the type of person that like when I do make up my mind, it's like, we just got to do it now, or I may not. So, but yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. Was exercise science just helped me. And then I was like, I kind of like what they're doing with their job, that I think I want to do that. And that's just kind of how that all started.
That's awesome. Awesome. No, I love that. It's amazing just hearing everyone, hearing their story. Everyone has a unique story and different passions, and that's encouraging to hear that you found that early too, and you jumped on that opportunity. No, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. I wanted to ask, just kind of building off of the the exercise science degree. You know, I did, my brief research in preparing for this podcast, learning a little bit, about exercise science and how it has to deal with movement and health and improving performance and preventing diseases. I wanted to ask maybe some things, since you're the expert on these, and you did that studying, and that's what the field you're in now. I wanted to ask, what are some key takeaways you took from that degree, and what can you encourage people with in that aspect, would you say?
Oh, that's a good question. So I guess the takeaways are that, we only get one body. You
Mm,
have one body, you got to take care of it. And I by no means am like perfect at that. There's a lot of things that I struggle with, but I think if you can understand the things you struggle with and at least work on that while doing other things, really great, that you find like a happy medium of like just working to be better. But I think as far as the degree goes and, within exercise science, I mean, it's been a while since I was in college. So um it's just you really learn the things that I thought were more like common sense, I guess just weren't. And for like the average person, so you really learn more about the body. You're learning about how to take better care of it, how to listen to your body, and just like the preventative stuff. So, I mean, I don't have a great memory, so it's not like I'm always looking things up, which I think is good. I mean, as long as you have the access and like where to go to like research that stuff, um,
definitely.
I'm able to go back and look that up. And even though there were several things that I probably didn't remember when I went into massage school, as soon as I saw them in the massage classes, it like sparked that memory of like things that I learned in college too. So
Definitely.
that answers the question.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think the big takeaway from that, you said it, pinpoint, was, we have one body, and we have to take care of it. I think that's just super important, as you said. I wanted to ask, what are some practical methods that people can do today to take care of their body? Maybe for someone who doesn't know what steps to take.
So my biggest thing that I tell almost every client, and this sounds more broad, but you really first have to listen to your body. Like we really need to do a better job at listening to what it's telling us, because nobody knows your body better than you know your body. So I can tell you, hey, you should really be doing this. But if you know that when you do this particular movement that it reacts this way, I don't know that. So you really have to pay attention. That way you're able to adjust when it's needed, but also when you are going in for body work, whether it be a massage therapist, a chiropractor, PT, a trainer, just anything, you're able, instead of being like, well, it sometimes like hurts here or here, like you're able to really tell them the specifics of your problems, because not only will that help them, but that really helps you, because if you notice that in a situation your body feels like this, well, you can hopefully try to prevent that situation or work on not doing that. A big example of that is just like your sleeping position. Um, the best position for you to sleep in is on your back. Most of us don't do that. I don't do that. It's hard. Um, I try to sleep on my back, the most I can, but it's so good to pay attention to your body, because when you're in a position, people are like, oh, well, I think I slept wrong. Well, you got to know, like, was it because your arm was up? Was it down? Were you like posture? People's spines when they're laying down is like they're curved because they don't have a pillow in between their knees, like that kind of thing. Um, I think that's like the biggest thing is not only do you have to listen to your body, but then once you've paid attention to that, then you can start to like incorporate the stretches, the mobility, and you can ask your chiropractor, your massage therapist, your PT, like what stretches best would fit your body and like the problems that you're having.
Definitely. Definitely. No, that's a great answer. That's a great answer. I like that. It's like, you know, you're not going to go in the first day and expect to be, when you haven't stretched before, expecting to do the splits, or do a
Right.
back. it's a process. First you crawl, you walk, you jog, then you run. And
Yeah.
I think that's super important to be able to listen to your body and know what it's telling you, know how it's feeling, and then, set up a smart plan to go ahead moving forward.
Oh,
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Uh, Maintenance is so important because too many people, like you said, you can't stretch for the first time and expect to do the splits. Well, you can't go to one massage session a year and expect to just feel immediately better the next day. That's just not gonna, it's impossible. You'll feel a little better. You should
Yeah.
feel a little better, but like 100% better, it's just not gonna happen. Your body needs the maintenance, just as if you take your car in every 3 months for an oil change because you've put a lot of miles on it. Well, we put a lot of miles on our body. You also need to be taking that in for maintenance, not just when you've hurt something. People wait until they've hurt something to go in, and then it takes time to get that better. If you would come in before you've hurt something, you're less likely to either hurt something or take, or like you're less likely to, when you hurt something, it's not going to take you as long to recover because we've kind of already been working on it, sort of thing.
Yeah, that preparation, that you could prevent it from even.
Yeah, preventative. Yeah.
That I love that. I love that. Yeah, and the body, yeah, like you said, I love that car analogy you used, how it's
Yeah.
like it's a well-oiled machine. We got to keep it tuned up, keep it maintained. You know, we can't just eat healthy and drink a bunch of water and get good sleep one night. We got to do it, consistently. And like you said, for the massages, going in consistently and taking care of that body. I wanted to ask, I'm interested to hear, what are some of the main maybe concerns or problems or issues that you see people coming in, the most common things for massage they're coming in
The
for?
most common would have to be anything from low back and above, but probably mostly like neck and shoulders. Because a lot of people, when we're driving, they're here and they don't even realize it, but they're here. So then you take a deep breath and you bring them back down. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, well, I hold all my stress up here." That's not exactly the way that they describe. That's not exactly how it works. But when you're stressed, it means that your posture's bad, which is why that happens. It's not like, oh, I'm stressed, so everything just like moves up here. I think that people sometimes think that it's like most people when they're stressed stay tense, their jaws clenched. Um, and you just have to take a deep breath and you have to like release those muscles. That's another thing of being in tune with your body, because I'll be driving sometimes and I notice that I've like tensed up and then I'm like, oh, okay, deep breath. And people just, that's probably the most is the neck and shoulders. Probably the second most is like the low back, mid back area. At least that's what I see most of. I work on a lot of upper body, a lot of like back and up.
So the low back would be from maybe sitting at a desk at work or sitting in their car or
Yeah, I find with low back, yeah, low back is mostly a desk job, or a sleeping position.
sleeping. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you sleep on your stomach, you're probably going to have some low back issues because of that. Unless you've like put a pillow under your stomach, you have like that dip. And if
Mm,
you're, the way I explain it is, if you get, say you get 8 hours of sleep, your muscles are basically working out for those whole 8 hours. Even though you're not working out, they are in an active position. So when you wake up and you feel stiff and all that, it's because your muscles are tired because it was in a position that it would rather not be in for 8 hours. So
wow, that's
yeah.
interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. 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 So the next thing, and in addition to that, those are great responses, by the way. I feel like I'm learning a ton, and everyone listening is learning a ton as well. They're going to get a lot out of this. So thank you for sharing. Um,
Yeah.
Ask, just building off that, like I said, some self-care tips that people can do. Maybe they have a lower back problem, maybe they have neck or shoulder stress, maybe they're just tense from work or life, whatever it may be. I know you mentioned the posture and the getting massage, of course. What are some other maybe self-care tips that people can do, for their mind, for their body, during this crazy time in our world today?
Yeah. As far my go-to self-care tips for like the body itself are lacrosse ball, like if you have a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, or honestly any kind of ball, could be a baseball, all that. I say tennis ball for beginners because it has a little bit of that give. But wherever your body's hurting, like if it's the shoulder, you can lay on your back, you put the ball right there in the spot that it hurts. You just take a deep breath and you can let your muscles kind of compress over that. And then you can move it a little bit and, roll on it a little bit, and that goes for any part of your body. Whatever's hurting, you can usually put a ball there and just like let the muscle compress into it. um and you'll know the difference. It's a part of listening to your body, is you'll know the difference between like that good hurt or like, oh, that's probably not like the correct position. So I use lacrosse balls a lot. Massage guns, I love massage guns, specifically for the lower body. I like to use the balls for the upper body and then the massage guns for lower body, just because it's a little bit easier for you to get to. So if you are about to go on a run, you know, 30 seconds of a massage gun on the hamstrings and the glutes, the muscles that typically fire up, will kind of waken that up. That way your body's spending less time like warming up. That kind of warms it up, and then you're kind of good to go. Obviously, you're still warming up on the run, but so massage gun ball, the lacrosse ball, and then what? I mean, I guess the only other thing I usually show clients is just like specific stretches. So like if they're like, this hurts on my hip, you do like the couch, the couch stretch, or the thing against the wall. It's hard. I'm not going to get up and show you, but there's so many different stretches that whoever you're seeing, chiropractor, massage therapy, if you say, I want a specific stretch for this part of my body, um, they should be able to show you. But yeah, lacrosse ball, massage gun, stretches. I'd say that's probably the best self-care. And then water. I mean, a bunch of water.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, those are great. Those are great. I know people are definitely gonna, put those to use that are listening. I hope they are. It'll be best for their body, to take care, and they'll feel better mentally. When you take care of your body physically, you feel better mentally, and
Yeah.
you have more energy throughout the day. You sleep better at night. It's a holistic approach. That's really
Yeah.
what it is. Um, so building off of that as well, I wanted to ask, I've learned and I've kind of heard, from, playing baseball and being an athlete, that, you know, not only is, training super important, but the aspect of like recovery is just as important, if not more important, because overtraining has, a lot of negative to it. So would you mind just talking about like the recovery and how the body needs to heal so the muscles can grow? If you don't mind touching on that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, basically just what you said. I mean, the body needs to recover so those muscles can rest. And then that way, when you're doing your next activity or your next workout or whatever it is that you're doing, you're at top shape to put in your best effort. Whereas if you're not recovering, then you're never allowing your body to kind of get back in that top shape to give you the best effort. You're kind of just going to give whatever effort your body's feeling like doing. So yeah, recovery is so important. And I think a big part of recovery is massage. I think that any kind of body work. I mean, I also, maybe I'm biased because I'm a massage therapist, but I mean, chiropractors are super important, PT for certain things. All of the body work stuff, that is just a big part of recovery, especially with athletes, like people who are doing it every single day. I mean, everybody needs recovery, even just like your weekend warriors or
Yeah.
people working out a couple times throughout the week, but like athletes for real need that full recovery. Um, if you have, were you a pitcher, right?
Infielder.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't
No,
remember.
all good.
But you always got to take those, whatever muscles you're using every single day. Like that's the stuff that you want to make sure that you're fully recovering. You need in baseball, you need your throwing arm. You need it. So that's what you have to make sure is in top shape. Like you're recovering the lacrosse ball with whatever supplements you're taking. Ice after a game followed by heat later. Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of just it's very broad, but just what you said is your body needs to recover to be in that top shape for the next day that you are putting in the training or the practicing, all that kind of stuff.
Definitely. Absolutely. So, kind of taking a little bit of a turn, but not too much. I wanted to ask how nutrition and what you put in your body as far as food plays a factor into all these things that we're talking about. Loving your body through taking care of it with food.
Yeah. So nutrition's a little out of my like scope of practice because that's not what I went to school for. I have a good friend who's a nutritionist, all that kind of stuff, but just as important, if you're you have to fuel your body for the activity that you're doing. Obviously, the more fruits and vegetables, stuff that you're buying on the outside of the grocery store, the outer border of the grocery store, they're fresher foods, all that kind of stuff, getting all of your nutrients, carbs, proteins, fats, like into one meal. That's just like the little stuff that you like that they cover in, exercise science and all that. But I guess in my head, that kind of stuff is common sense, but it really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is definitely a little out of my scope. That is actually what I struggle with the most. I kind of always have. So I try to be a lot better at the other things and allow myself a little more grace with the nutrition. And not every day is going to be perfect. And as long as you understand that and know that just because if you have a bad day, you can kind of pick up and have a good day the next day. But yeah, nutrition is really important. As far as massage goes, water is really important. Water is a natural lubricant to your joints, for your brain health, all of that. If you're not drinking enough water, you might have a little more achy joints or, all that, because the more water you're taking in, it legit is it's the natural lubricant of your body. It's helping everything flow a little bit better in your body. So
Wow. No, that was good. Well, for someone who's not in the field of nutrition, those are great responses. And so maybe one day we'll bring her on the podcast then.
yeah.
Because that'd be cool. But okay, before we wrap up, just a couple quick I guess questions and pointers. I did see on your social media you have worked with Rich Froning before. CrossFit national champion. I wanted to ask a little bit just about how that interaction started and how you got that opportunity, and also how it is just working with the CrossFit community. For those who don't know, Cookeville, Tennessee, where Tennessee Tech University is the CrossFit capital of the world. The best athletes in the world literally come and train there, and it's just an amazing thing that they got going. So
Yeah, I've worked with him a couple times. Nothing like I'm not like I wasn't like his big, what do they call those? I didn't travel with him. I didn't do anything like that. It was just I'm friends with his wife. I got really into Mayhem back when I was in college still. And so that was my workout of choice. And that's kind of how I met them. Really good friends with his wife, really good friends with his wife's sister. And so I was doing a lot of the events. So like they have Mayhem for Mustard Seed or a couple CrossFit events. I would go and set my table up and work with the athletes and stuff like that. So as far as like working with the CrossFit elite athletes, it's been a while. The pandemic has kind of put a halt at like all those events. So I haven't I have one come through here and there with appointments, but as far as like doing a lot of those events, it's been a while. But as far as working with the CrossFit athletes, it's hardcore. I actually just made a comment the other day because I had a massage with an athlete, and I always leave those sessions like sweating because their bodies are in good shape. They usually do a really good job with mobility and all that, but their muscle, there's still so much more muscle. So I'm always like putting in the elbow or trying to really, sometimes I feel like, okay, are they feeling this? And I'm like, no, they are. But working with them is really fun because you can feel, and this goes with athletes too, you can feel the lines of the muscle. So like, and you can feel the definition of like, even though it's their arm, you have so many different muscles in your arm. So I like that you can feel working on those different like particular muscles. As far as working with them as people, I mean, they've all been super great. They put in a lot of work, work really hard at keeping their body in top shape. I mean, it's like a 9 to 5 job for them. Is, you know, when they're trying to go to the CrossFit Games, when they're trying to compete at that level, that's what their job is. They are getting up, they're training 5-6 sessions a day. And so, yeah, body maintenance is super important for them. A lot of the times they do a lot of stuff on their own. But yeah, Rich is a nice guy. I'm glad to be a part of, you know, I'm glad to have once been a part of Mayhem. Like I said, pandemic has really kind of taken a toll on all of that. But yeah, that was a really fun time doing all those events with the athletes, being able to work on a bunch of athletes, even though it's just like 10 minutes at a time. That's always been really great. I really have enjoyed that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's not every day you get those opportunities. So that's awesome. And thanks for sharing. And yeah, I can only imagine what their workouts look like in preparation for those big events, because I see those events. We were talking about just before this that it's insane what they put their bodies through, and they need it most, the massage and taking care of their body. But like you said, their training regimen is so intense that sometimes they like forget to factor it in, but it's a necessity, to recover that body, to be able to perform to that peak performance. You need to take care of it, all aspects. So
Yeah, and I mean that's what got me started in massage. Is I was doing a lot of CrossFit, and I was like, oh, it'd be really fun to work on CrossFitters. And I don't work on them as often as I once did, but like I said, you still get them coming through here and there. And athletes, I like to see the change in like your guys' range of motion. And you once were having issues full extending the arm out, and now you have that full extension. Like that's kind of what I like about working with all the athletes too. Is CrossFitters always have something that needs to be worked on. Athletes, baseball players always have something that needs to be worked on. So instead of like guessing around, it's like, no, you guys have stuff to work on. We're going to work on it. And I've always enjoyed that. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. So wrapping up, I wanted to talk about your shirt. I love your shirt.
oh,
For those who can't see it on the video right now or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, she's got an amazing shirt. It says "Love your body." Period. I think it's just a great phrase. Embodies, what she does. Jordan John's massage therapy, but also just proves, like she said, we're only given one body, and we have to take care of it. And we have to love what we're given and make the best of it. So if you wouldn't mind sharing about that, love to hear about it.
So it just kind of got started. Let's see. I've been a massage therapist for a little over 6 years. So I opened my business about 4 years ago. So probably 3 years ago is when I was like super, obviously body positivity is like a really important thing. But I really just loved the simple phrase, love your body. And I was like, we can kind of have that as a two-way meaning, you know, as far as my business goes. It's like, yeah, you should love your body because everybody should love their body, but also you should love your body enough that you're scheduling massages to go take care of your body because your body needs it and your body wants it. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to get too intricate with it. We're just going to have that phrase, found a font. And yeah, I put it on a bunch of t-shirts. I just recently put it on some sweatshirts and sell them, but also they became a uniform that that's what I wear to work now too, because it's just easy and I love it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So where can someone get one? You mentioned you were doing some pre-orders coming up soon. Where can they get one if they're interested?
So unfortunately, I do not have a website yet. We're working on that. So right now it's just messaging me through my social media that you're interested in a pre-order. And then that way I can go ahead and get your name on the list to either get that pre-order going, or when the pre-order launches again, I can reach out to you and get your name on that list. And then there's only a couple styles right now. I have some pictures on there, but every pre-order, I try to come out with something new as far as like a color or something like that. But yeah, they can just message me and I'll get them on a list, or I'll keep a contact with them so we know when the pre-order's going in.
Awesome. And so for everyone, the Instagram is Jordan Johns _massage therapy. So
yes.
Jordan Johns _massage therapy. And she has Facebook as well, which is just Jordan Johns Massage Therapy, right?
Yeah, there's not an underscore on the Facebook one. Yeah.
Okay. So Instagram and Facebook, get your Love Your Body shirt, pre-order it. They're sweet. I'm going to get one. So everyone
awesome.
get one. Absolutely. Well, yeah, that wraps it up. I really appreciate you coming on, Jordan, and educating us all on, health and wellness and how we should, take care of our body. I do want to let everyone know, that's in, the Middle Tennessee area, the Cookeville area. If you're in need of a massage or just want to check it out, to take care of your body, you should definitely check out Jordan. She does a great job, and yeah, you'll want to go get more. And yeah, so follow her on Facebook, on Instagram, and get a hold of her. She does, fill up pretty quick, so you want to make that appointment as soon as you can. And yeah, definitely. So thanks for coming on, Jordan. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it too.
All right. Hope everyone has a good one, and we'll see you next episode.
Thank you all for tuning into the Galvanize with Gavin podcast. I hope you were inspired and empowered to reach your fullest potential in life. For more resources, visit gavinjohns.com. For businesses interested in sponsoring the podcast, visit gavinjohns.com /sponsor. Thank you all, and God bless.